Hey, welcome back to the High Heels and Tea podcast. I'm your girl, Crystal Lee.
This is Rihanna.
And yeah, we got a real special episode. This is a first because I get to shut up and just let my girl do the hosting of this episode. She planned a real fun, dope, must need to say topic.
Yes, definitely.
So, look,
She not gonna be.
I'm so like, because I'm excited. Come on, let's get to it. I'll
So,
never shut up.
guys, today this topic is really dear to me because I've been out in this dating scene for a little minute now, and I'm finding out that it's kind of taboo
Okay.
for men to take women on dates.
Okay.
And I'm running into issues where we're having situations where men feel like we should take them on dates.
Okay.
And we should pay for dates, or it should be a 50-50 type of date,
Mm-hmm.
or just the whole idea of the man being the chase and us being the suitor, shall I say.
Okay.
Um, First question I would ask you, what do you think about this topic?
This is a real good topic because a lot has changed in today's world. A lot. Like before it was really black and white. I don't know if women are the reason behind that change because it's
Yeah,
not always just like a man is just waking up like I'm the prize or whatever, which the good men are the prize as well. But
it's true.
I think some women, have unfortunately fragile a lot of men's egos, and then there are some men that are just
Already
born.
fragile.
They're just already fragile. This is how they are. Um, I think that if a man, and then we kind of piggy off of that. I talked about that before. Like, what would you court a man?
Yeah.
But if you are asking me out, I ain't asked you
Period.
why if we're going why would you ask me out and then think I'm gotta chase you? You
Exactly.
know what I'm saying? I can't wrap my hand around it. But again, I do know a lot of women are to blame for that
Mm-hmm.
because some women make it just that easy for some men.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They give them nothing to work for or toward.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, it's just some men, they just jacked up. Like, I think that's jacked up to think. Like,
Yeah. That's silly.
you know what I mean?
It's look to me, it's gay.
Like we don't, yeah, it's definitely
It's
it's too
100%
feminine
gay.
for
Yeah.
straight a alpha male for real. More
Yeah.
than anything, it's just too feminine of that man to be that way. You shouldn't want to get chased. You should definitely want to be nourished, and you should definitely want the
The
affection.
man
And you
qualities.
should, yeah, you should definitely want like to know that that woman is into you in
Yeah.
other ways, but you know, she can court you in other ways, but she shouldn't have to like chase you.
No,
You know what I mean?
not at all.
What you think?
That's I mean, that's whack. That's 100% whack. And like you
Yeah,
say, in this day and age, I
yeah,
can understand where sometimes we can get misconstrued because us as women,
yeah,
we have become more independent.
yeah,
And we take ourselves out on dates.
yeah,
And I think that's another reason why we have that problem because of our expectations.
yeah.
Because we feel like, if we can do this, and this for ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
you come around and you say, well, I like to take you on a date. And then you take me on a date. And then when the check comes, we looking around at the sky like, who gonna pay? It's like,
Has that ever happened to
like,
you?
oh my God, no, that has never happened to me.
I feel so bad for if
But
that happens.
something that has happened to me is a guy said that something happened. He left his wallet at home.
Mhm.
So it was like it didn't happen on purposely. Maybe I don't know if there was a purpose situation,
Mhm.
but I mean, one thing that I was taught as a kid, as a woman, is to never leave the house without any money
Mhm.
because you never know what a situation may occur. You
Mhm.
never know if you have to catch a cab home. You
Mhm.
never know what the situation may be. You
Mhm.
always have to be prepared because you can't trust somebody that you're going to date with.
Mhm.
You're just meeting them. You're
Did he
courting
give
them.
you the money back?
He didn't. He didn't give me the
We
money back.
talked about something like that. We talked
Yeah,
about an example,
that was a
like
couple of seasons ago.
yeah, and it was
Uh-huh.
like
The girl, but this particular girl,
that was different.
that was different. This guy put that girl was shallow
She was.
because this particular guy actually cashed out her the money after they got back home.
Yeah.
And then even something like he had took her on dates the
The
whole
whole day.
day.
Yeah.
And then they went to dinner. And at
Yeah.
the end of the day, like I guess, stuff happens or you have limits on your card
Mhm.
and his card declined. So she had to pay. But the
Mhm.
man actually sent her the money back after the
Yeah.
fact. And
That's
she
cool.
stopped talking to the guy. which
Yeah.
I thought was 100% shallow. And I've been seeing that too. So maybe it is something with us too.
I'm telling you, a lot of the
It's something
things
with us.
I think it's both genders or the blame for it. I don't think it's like well, sometimes again when you look at these situations that men you think they're just creating it out of the sky, but no, they experience
Yeah.
certain types of women to where they feel like which if you hear it, it's some type of valid. It's valid in a way to
Mhm.
say, well, I don't want to waste my money on doing this and doing that if I don't know pretty much what your real true intentions are.
I mean, that's a part of learning
It
somebody. You
is.
know what I'm
It
saying? That
is.
first interaction
It is.
is meeting someone, catching their vibe, seeing,
Mhm.
even if you want to go on to the next date. So it's like, okay, so even if me per se, I would not be okay with paying 50-50. But if
Mhm.
we talked about that and said, okay,
Mhm.
let's meet up and let's go here. You pay your portion, I
Mhm.
pay my portion. We're friends, type
Yes.
of deal. And we created a situation like
Yes.
that. But if
Yes.
it's the point where you're like, hey, baby girl,
You
I
trying to
really,
really
I
court me?
really, I really like you. I would like to
Yeah.
take you out, such and so and so.
Yeah.
And we get to the place and you looking at me like I'm crazy, or you like, well, you got to pay your way and I pay my way. Then I'm gonna be like, well, that my
I wouldn't have
whole
came if
yeah,
I.
my
Yeah.
first understanding, my first impression of you is bullshit.
Yeah.
Like you're super
Yeah.
inconsiderate because you want to court me.
Mhm.
I didn't ask you out on a date. And that's another thing. I get a lot of guys say that all the time. Well, if you ask me on a date, will you pay? I will. I don't
Mhm.
have a problem with paying.
Mhm.
And another thing is men, the expectations of men
Mhm.
and what they expect. So do you think? So I had a guy say to me that if he took me on a date, I would have to give him some sex afterwards.
It's
So
transactional.
it's transactional. So
Okay.
how do you feel about transactional dating?
If that's if that's what he said up front,
Hmm.
if you agree, that's on you.
Just for some food.
But I wouldn't agree with it because it's like I don't. That's what it is. It's like you're gonna feed me for like, and I don't need that, right? Right. Remember we talked about everybody got a price. That ain't my
That ain't
price,
my
though.
price. Maybe it's a hot wing.
That ain't, like maybe a lifetime of them or something.
A lifetime supply of hot
Yeah,
wings
that's not my price.
from your favorite
So
hot wing place.
it's weird because it's also I was mentioning like how that one guy he flew a girl out and
Oh man, yeah.
she didn't want to do anything with him for whatever reason. I don't know if she got around him and felt like he was corny or I don't know what it was, but she didn't want to do nothing
Hmm.
and he kicked her out the room.
Yeah, I remember that.
Speaking of what your rule what you just said, always keep your own money on you, number one, so you don't end up in situations like that.
She
But
put herself in that kind of
that
situation a
kind of
little bit
almost
to
said
me.
you probably knew what
Yeah,
was up,
yeah.
and you gotta. So that's what I'm
He
saying with this.
flew you out to where it was like an overseas type of
It
thing.
wasn't
I thought
overseas.
it was.
I know he said
One
he
of them,
paid a lot of money
it
for
was
her
two different
baggage.
ones. I saw it was two different ones. It was one guy, I
Yeah.
think it was in Atlanta, and then I
Yeah, this
think
one probably was
the
like that because he
other
was at
one,
like it was double beds and stuff. Like I don't think this
the
was
other one
overseas.
was I think was like a actual trip,
Uh
and
huh.
he was like, "You got to go," like, and then he ended up calling, having somebody else come in, and she the other girl came before she even had left. Because she was video recording because she was like, he mad because I won't give him no pussy. He telling me to leave and da da da. She was the one who was recording the
Okay.
actual situation. But I feel like with that, why would you set yourself up for that? That's just like back in the day. Only thing that's open at 3 a.m. is legs.
Yeah.
So
Or the
if I
hospital.
or
Yes.
the hospital. So
Yes.
if a guy asks me and we've been out and
Mhm.
he invites me over to his house and
Mhm.
we want to fake and say, oh, it's a nightcap,
Mhm.
what are you thinking he's expecting? Why
Mhm.
are you at this man's house?
At
It's
this
your
time, right?
representation. It's how you
Yeah.
put it. It's exactly like you say. It's both genders. It's
Yeah.
what we put ourselves out there and say,
Mhm.
and it's also what we accept.
Yeah. So just to answer the question, frankly, nah, I don't think that that's acceptable for some, but for some women,
It is.
that's all you gotta do. Buy them a burger and a fry, and they in
Let's
there like
sack chasing.
swimwear like that.
Let's sack chase
Let them upgrade
baby.
to a shake instead of a Sprite. That's it. And I think it's a matter of you gotta know who you dealing with.
Yeah, that's
You know what
true.
I'm saying? Like you can't, and we kind of talked about this. You can't approach every woman the same.
No,
You know what I'm saying? Like you can't approach every man
man, the
the
same.
same.
Nope.
Like it's levels to this. So you can't think that because that worked with that woman, maybe that caliber of woman, that's all it takes
Yeah,
is all right, I'm gonna take you out, boom, we're gonna do that. But for this caliber woman, it's like more of
yeah.
a high
A
a high
higher
fruit.
standard.
Yeah, the fruit
Yeah.
up here. Like you can't just pick me up off the floor. I'm already up here. You got to climb a little higher to get me. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So I think also when it comes to men approaching women and trying to, make suggestions on dating, terms and conditions, it's like,
Hmm.
well, who was this woman before you met her? You
Exactly.
know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
where she stay at before you met her? What was she doing for herself
Before you met
before
her.
you met her? You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So if you're gonna come in that life, you need to at least know how to do what she do
Know
or
how to
more,
approach her.
and vice
Exactly.
versa. You
And
know what
if
I
that's
mean?
the case, then you're not for her. And
If
that's the
that's the
part.
case, go downstairs. I think what you're looking for is like 10 steps
It's down.
down.
I'm
Okay, you
not
a
on this
cool
level.
person, right? But she down there, she not
Yeah.
up here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was like one of Megan's songs, Megan Thee Stallion. She say,
Yeah,
I need I know you used to fuck with fuck bitches by the way you try to treat me.
yeah. You
like
can literally
like
tell.
I see that you're this type of person,
You can
sir.
tell the
Like I
caliber of
see
women.
the caliber of woman that you're
Yeah,
dating. So
yeah,
I'm not in that caliber. But then you
yeah.
get, oh, so now you stuck up. Oh no, baby, I'm not
No.
stuck up. It's just that like I was explaining to you before, I was talking to a guy
Hmm.
and he was like, yeah, I'll take you on a date and I'll pay for it. And I'm like, "You-
He said.
okay, sir. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, that's nice. And I was
And
like,
I pay for.
then I proceeded
Wait,
to ask because I was curious
wait
at that
a
point. Like,
minute.
okay, like, well, what does that mean? Like,
Yes.
why do you feel the need to say that?
To announce that.
He was like, well, because some men they don't like to pay for dates, and if they do, they feel like they supposed to get something out of it. I
Hmm.
said, so you mean to tell me that I'm supposed to give you sex because you took me to go get a meal?
Hmm.
I had to break it down to him. I was like, I drink Casamigos. I got a whole 50 Casamigos in my car.
Hmm.
I was like, I smoke. I got everything that I need for me in my car. If I go have myself a dinner, a nice dinner, I'm gonna pay for it.
Hmm.
If you came, I could pay for yours as well.
Hmm.
I said, but why? I said, so because of that, I'll be like,
No.
oh, I'll be trying
No,
to
about
say
to say,
stuff.
no, you gotta talk.
Gotta,
Go,
gotta.
go on to your room,
It's the
baby.
baby. No,
Go on, baby.
but I just had to explain to him like, what if I asked you to do something for me
Right.
that was transaction,
Well, I thought you, well, I asked you
transaction.
to do something strange for a
A
little piece of change.
ask you to put the money on the dresser. You know what I'm saying?
Put the
I mean,
blinky down.
right. Put the
Put
blick
the
on that
blink on the
dresser.
dresser.
You know what I'm saying? Like all of that. Like how would you feel if there was a case? He was just like, well, maybe you right. Maybe I'm right. Have you ever never not thought about that after it came out
In a
your mouth?
word.
Like they crazy. Like what are you talking about? Like and then on top of that, it's like half of the time they can't even have enough conscious minds to even create a date.
Yeah.
They got. Oh, what you want to do?
Yeah.
What you want to do? Looking at
Yeah.
it. Like what I want to do. You ain't never on no date. Like you don't want to eat.
No,
You know
no.
what I'm saying? You don't want to go play the games. Anything is
And
like
see, listen, let me.
yeah. Then they always hit you with the well, most women they don't like to do all types of stuff, so
Mhm.
they wanna you gotta ask people what they wanna do.
I say this, that expose definitely the type of woman you usually go
Mm-hmm.
for. And two, being in your mid 30s,
Hmm.
you do the last thing you want is to play build a man. Like nobody wants to teach you how to date.
Build a nigga, build a bar.
You know what I'm
We
saying?
gonna open up a build a nigga.
Nobody want to teach nobody how to date, what you should like come with some type of foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, cool, like we can bounce off each other from there. But
Yeah.
I don't want to have to teach you
No.
how to date. You know what I
No.
mean? Like it's just some stuff you should just know. And if you don't
Mm-hmm.
know, again, you need to go 10 steps down. I
To the
think the
next
girl you
level.
looking for who's
It's not
ready
there.
to build you and do this and do it, I think she down there because I'm already
I
know
already
how to do
passed
all
that.
this. You know what I mean?
Not at
I
all.
can't I can't be the person that expose you to the basic things. Like I can expose you to like bigger
Yeah.
things or new things in this way, but I
Yeah.
can't
Different
expose you
dynamics.
to,
But you should already know
yeah,
at that age.
like download this food app. What the fuck you
I don't like this food.
I can't expose you to
Or
the basic
just
things, you
in
know what I mean?
general, or just common courtesy, chivalry, things
Yeah.
that you should already come intact with. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? But I noticed that some dates are consisted of somebody just pulling up at your house and y'all watching movies or
Mhm.
Netflix and chilling. Like I'm not Netflix and chilling with
But that's
nobody on
not
my
really
first
a
date.
date. That's like
That's to me, I feel like those are like maybe like the 15, 16, 17, 18
at
date.
some point, yeah, we
As you
can
get to
chill.
know each other,
Yeah,
as you're spending more time with each other, you're like, okay, I'm feeling you. I wanna, you know what I'm saying,
yeah.
actually, get close to you a little bit,
So
see feel you out,
first
see
off,
how you
you
are.
shouldn't be letting people know where you stay at.
Period.
So your
Not on the
first date
first
should
date.
not be no Netflix and chill, and that goes for both genders. It's not just a woman, the
Both
man too.
genders. And that's why people
You
have
know,
situations.
yeah, at that. You shouldn't let people be. You shouldn't
But
be like
some
so
do
more content. Like
not.
let people know where you stay at. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just like another level like of the association. And then I'm gonna say this too: if I were to go out with a guy and I'm doing 50-50, we haven't had no pre-dates or anything like that, or I'm paying my
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 portion.
whatever.
Yeah.
That's just my friend. That's just
Yeah,
my
that's
guy.
fine.
Like, matter of fact, I didn't even call
What
you.
up, homeboy?
That's you a
Like
homeboy. You're not
exactly what
somebody
you is.
that can date me.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And that's cool. And we can just be cool. You the
Hmm.
homie. That's it. And I'm cool with that. But
Yeah.
no one that wants to really want to date me can approach me like that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And again, do I have a problem with paying for a date? Nope. Do I
Mm-mm.
have a problem with doing anything at all monetary wise towards a man? Not at all.
Nope.
But you're not fit to try to talk to me
Hmm.
and then tell me I gotta pay for that day because
No.
you want to talk to me.
Exactly.
Come
I don't
on,
even
man.
have no. I don't really have no
I'm cool,
conversation for you no
friend.
more.
Friend, I'm not
All right,
hungry.
friend. Exactly.
I'm not
You want
hungry,
you want
friend.
to do this again? We can do this
Yeah.
again. It's just gonna be a friend. You're gonna be
I'll be like,
friends.
oh, friend, she look cute for you. That's
Yeah.
the one for you, friend.
Exactly.
Let me take you to the projects, friend. She cute for you. That girl
Take you
right
to
there.
where you need to be,
Yeah,
because
take you where you need to
I'm
be,
not
not
that
with
person.
me.
Because I'm a good friend. I have a lot of male
Yeah,
friends,
yeah, yeah,
but yeah,
yeah.
that's not the place to be.
I help you get there, but it won't be with me at all. It won't. Swear,
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Oh, but dating is
You
it's
said taboo.
so extra these days
Yeah.
that it's just like, it's hard. It gets to the point where it's like, you know, I'd rather to really take myself out, and then
So, do you think dating has always been hard, or do you think something has genuinely like changed in the dating
I
world
think
that makes it harder now,
I think it
other
has
than social media?
changed because, both of us not really being part of the dating game for over 10 years,
Mhm.
it's a different situation
Mhm.
compared to when we were in our 20s.
Mhm.
So now that we're in our 30s and we're meeting because we have a different criteria because we're at a different stage in our lives.
Mhm.
And it's like we want different things,
Mhm.
especially because we have already been in relationships. We already know how to experience relationships. We know how to make relationships work.
Mhm.
We know all of these dynamics. We know how we should be treated. And
Mhm.
I think that's one of the main issues too, is when we know how we should be treated, we're not insecure,
Mhm.
we're not dependent on anybody for anything. I feel like it's harder for us to find somebody because then they're either looking down on us,
Mhm.
they're either they're stuck up, they have this and that, or they don't actually compare.
Mhm.
You can't compete where you can compare,
Mhm.
and then you're insecure. So therefore, you're too insecure to even approach me
Mhm.
to that extent. And then when you do approach me and you start talking to me, you're like, oh no, sorry.
Too much responsibility. And the responsibility ain't come
Exactly.
help raise is the responsibility is that you
Exactly.
just need to have your shit together
I'm
to
sorry,
talk.
guys. Look, I'm stuck.
You stuck your earring.
The earring stuck on the mic.
Hold on 1 second. And it's that
All right. Okay.
there. And then this is hooked like that. So you gotta kind of like leave it like that.
Okay. It's on
You gotta leave it just
All
like
right.
that. I would
So look,
recommend that. Yes. I would recommend leaving the mic alone because how it is
it's entangled in the earring.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we're gonna leave it
We're
alone.
gonna leave it
It's
alone.
still black, so yeah, it's blending in a little bit.
Yeah. You can't even tell much, so whatever. What mine?
So I got a question. Somebody
All
asked me, what would be a perfect date for you?
right. That's a good question. Probably something. That's such a good question. Probably something that really takes my mind off of my day-to-day
Ooh.
things. So not just going to a dinner, like go to a art museum, go do something like really fun, like go court, jet ski, something active, you know what I'm saying? Mount
Something
climbing or
enjoyable.
something. Yeah, something like that. And then like some really good food. And you know what? I love like fine dining type of restaurants,
Mhm.
but I really love like those little hidden gem type of
Mhm.
restaurants that be just the music is dope.
Good
It's a good
ambiance.
vibe. Yes. And you just vibing
Mhm.
versus I gotta put this dress on and suck this in and tuck that. Versus all that, I like to just vibe.
Yes.
So first off, I say art museum and stuff like that because I'm real just
Subtle.
yep, I'm real laid back, right? And then I say something at the same time fun and exciting because I got that side of me too. So
Mhm.
we could knock both of those out in one day. That'll be dope.
Yeah.
Then I love to eat. So you gotta take me somewhere where the food is
But she
really
really
good.
just wants some hot wings for real.
I kind of almost out of the hot wings fail. I like to I still definitely like team hot wings, but just some really really good food, some
Yeah.
really dope spots that's
Good
kind of like
vibe.
introducing me to something different and
Something
new.
new. Yeah.
To where the last thing on my mind is like, oh my God, what I gotta do tomorrow? Okay, tomorrow. Because sometimes you go out, you be like, yeah, tomorrow I gotta do this, do that. You're not
Yeah.
even there because it's
Yeah.
just
It's
so
so
typical. You
it's
know what I
so
mean?
boring.
It's just too typical for
Yes.
me to be in tune. So something that really helps me escape the day to day. That's all I can say.
That's funny. No, it's funny that she says that
Mhm.
because it was kind of similar to what I said,
Uh huh.
and it's more so. Mine was more so just a peaceful date, like
Mhm.
something because I'm always doing stuff.
Mhm.
Like I'm always making plans. I'm always problem solving. I was like, I always want to do something where I'm just relaxed.
Mhm.
Like I don't gotta do nothing. Like
Mhm.
you pick the dress, get
Mhm.
me a dress. Like you
Yes.
should know. Like if you're dating, like
Yeah, that's
this may
dope.
be later on down the road, not a first date, but
Mhm.
like if you're dating me, you should know like things that I like. You
Mhm.
send me a dress and say,
Mhm.
be ready at this
I
time.
want to see
You
you in
pick
this dress this
exactly.
time. Yeah.
You pick me up and you plan a day. You
Yeah.
take me here. You just make it. Everything is about intentional
Mhm.
dating and making sure that like you're catering to me because I
Mhm.
feel like with us and doing stuff and
Mhm.
having to our life just be lifing
Yeah.
over and
Let
over
me be
again.
life
We
then.
do.
That's a good way to put
Yeah.
it.
So it's like I want something to where I'm just like I'm comfortable. Like I'm like, okay, I gotta do nothing.
Yes.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Like just to make your life easier and better
I
and
think that's why I say something like jet skiing, do that, and not
yeah.
to have something fast, but to have something just different because life's too serious.
Yes.
Your day to day
Definitely.
life is so serious. You want to have that
Let
outlet to
loose.
loosen up.
Let loose.
You know what I mean? And just do something fun and silly. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I agree.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact answer, but I know. I know.
We
I
gotta get
know.
our
Gotta get outside.
But then that's the thing too with a lot of men that people don't they be closed minded too. Like
Mhm.
it's like they don't be wanting to do this stuff. Like the only time sometimes a lot of men only do that is when us women
You
when we
initiate it.
yeah, like when we planning we'll say something like
Yeah.
you know well we let's make an appointment let's go jet skiing. Like to
Mhm.
me sometimes men don't really think outside the box. It
Mhm.
be us that's always trying to figure out different
Mhm.
stuff to do or
Yeah.
I'm gonna download this dating app and I'm going to see what's the new trending restaurant
You
that's
ain't lying
available.
about that.
Yeah, man, you guys need to get yourselves together. Y'all need to be more outgoing, more exotic, more, y'all want to do that stuff too because when we say we gonna do it, y'all like to do it too. So
Yeah, they do.
let's just have a good time. Like, don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Let loose, be open, enjoy life because life is short.
Yes.
And yeah, we gotta
And pay for the day.
that part. If you pay for the first one, I pay for the second one.
Boom.
How about that?
Deal? Deal.
If
That's a good deal.
Pretty. But thanks everybody for tuning in to the High Heels and Tea podcast. This was a great topic. I'm
Yes.
pretty sure that a lot of women are going to relate to this topic because I see it up and down my social media. I see it up and down TikTok. Women making TikToks about dates and how horrible their dates were
Oh my
and
goodness.
how they haven't went on dates in forever. And then we just get to the point where we just dating ourselves. So
Yeah.
take
Solo
time,
bolo.
like, comment. Thank you.
Thank you.